What's going on, everybody? Brother Eddie Smith here. I am the director of Bigger and Better Business for my local chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, the Omicron Delta Sigma chapter, ODS, Southern Maryland Sigmas, Blue Phi. Coming to you tonight with a brief presentation. We are launching a new initiative in our chapter. We call it ODS Business, brought to you by the Bigger and Better Business program. And the objective is to, as part of our community outreach, our community service initiative, we want to expand people's minds in the local community, okay, about the options and the prospects of business, how you can do things on your own, a home business, even side small business, franchises, whatever the case may be, whatever suits your fancy, okay? But the idea is you can help with the economy, with your own finances, by incorporating business into your life. That's kind of the objective, the goal. And so the thing is, right now, consumer debt is a huge problem for many American families. One way to tackle debt is with adding a side business, okay? Because it can bring in some additional revenue for you that you can then apply towards that debt. So Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, in partnership with the dFree movement, the company dFree is a nonprofit organization that focuses on financial literacy. And we have partnered with them to help, spread the word, get the outreach into the community to help people with their finances. So if you come to this page, dFree.com, okay, it's a financial education platform. They have plenty of resources that you can tap into to learn about financial literacy and debt management in particular, okay? Right now, they have a campaign going that they're calling the $1 billion challenge. And the objective of this challenge is basically to help people get out of debt, okay? They want to help people pay off $1 billion worth of debt right here, all right? So, let me get rid of this. So as you can see right here, they help people with 38 million so far and still going. So we invite you to take the challenge with us. We invite you to join our group within the challenge, the ODS group, and you can learn about that. If you go to billiondollarpaydown.com, you can see the link here, billiondollarpaydown.com, and then you can sign up for free, and then they'll walk you through how the whole process works. I'm not gonna get into it because the website does a great job of talking about how to do it. Now, what I am going to talk to you about is this initiative with our chapter, ODS Business. On a weekly basis, starting tonight, on Thursdays, I'm going to come to you with a brief presentation. I don't want to keep you long. Just want to put some information out there, give you some ideas about small business. We're going to feature some interviews with some small business owners, some home business owners, just to kind of give you some ideas, let you know what options are out there, what's available to you to help you increase your cash flow, your revenue, so that you can then pay off your debts. That's the objective. That's the goal. We're going to help with this $1 billion challenge in our own unique, special kind of way. Okay. So let's talk about debt reduction and paying off debt. Our mantra, our thought process, our goal for 2023 is debt free in 23. We want to help people eliminate as much debt as possible in our local communities. Okay. For now, we're going to focus on what I call the non-mortgage debt. Okay, that's your regular basic consumer debt, your credit cards, your loans, your car payments, student loans, things like that. Okay, we're gonna help pay off all that as rapidly as possible in 2023. Debt free in 23. Hashtag it. Debt free in 23. So one of the ways we can do that, there are many options. Okay, you have to choose what works best for you. Everybody's situation is a little bit different, so you want to find what works best for you. One option that we advocate is what is affectionately known as a debt snowball. It's made popular by Dave Ramsey and the Ramsey Solutions company. Essentially, it's a debt elimination method that involves racking and stacking your debts from lowest balance to highest balance. It doesn't take into account interest or anything like that. It's simply based off balance. Lowest balance to highest balance, and then you start paying off your low balance until you pay it off, and then you roll to the next lowest one and pay that off, and then roll to the next one. You keep it going like that until you're out of debt. That's the objective, the basic goal, okay? So if you come here to the Ramsey website, RamseySolutions.com, on debt, okay? It talks about the debt snowball, lots of good information about, the debt snowball and how it all works. Right here explains in 4 steps what I just said. You list your debt, smallest to largest, make minimum payments on everything else but the smallest debt. You find ways to get extra money, whether it's cut back on expenses, cut back the Starbucks, stop eating out as much, cut back on Netflix or your cable. The bottom line is find ways to add extra money to the minimum amount on your smallest debt, and then keep paying it until you pay it off, and then repeat the process until all your debt is gone. So here's a visual for those of you who are visually inclined. The same thing I just said, list all your debt, smallest to largest, attack the smallest debt, make the minimum payments on the rest, add extra to the lowest one until you pay it off. Once the smallest debt is gone, pack the payment, add the extra amount to the next amount, and you keep repeating until all your debts are gone, okay? Now, where down here it talks about why this process works. It's because it's about changing your behavior, okay? By paying off the small debt, it gives you kind of a stimulus, a visual reward that you can see something actually happening. And then that in turn motivates you to want to keep going and do it more. Now, there's a way to make it even better. As good as that process is, you can make it even better by adding even more, because the more you add, the faster you're going to get out of debt. And I'll give you a visual representation of that here in a minute, but just wanted to show you how this whole process works. And it talks about it right here. How to get extra money. You can lower your expenses, cut spending, sell stuff, nab a side hustle. Our focus from a business perspective is going to be on adding a side hustle, because if you can add extra income, that way it won't impact your current budget. It won't take away from what you're already doing, but you bring in this additional resource that's going to add more money. It's like adding fuel to your fire, okay? Because the more you add, the quicker you're going to get out of debt, and the goal is to get you out of debt as quickly as possible. Make sense? All right, so let's talk about some other tools, okay? Now, there's a free tool, another free tool you can use. It's the site here, Vertex 42, and I'll put the links to all these things either in the comments or the description somewhere where you can have access to it. You can just click on a link and then go straight to it, to the Ramsey site, to the dFree movement, and to this Vertex. But what you want is this debt snowball calculator. It's a free tool. Scroll down here and you can see it. This is a free tool. You have 2 options. You can do Excel or Google Sheets, whichever works for you. Doesn't really matter. They both work the exact same. It's personal preference. But essentially, you go in this tool, you plug in your information, and then it'll calculate and show you how long it's going to take you to be debt free. Okay, so let's bring up the Google Sheet version here. And in this version, I just plugged in some information just to make it fun, But it's just the basic Excel spreadsheet. You click in the cell and you type, and you can change the values of the cell. So what you have here is this little creditor table. Okay, you list all your creditors, the balances, interest rate, payment. Don't worry about this custom part. That's just another one of the options. As I said, there are numerous options, and we don't need the custom part for what we're doing here with the debt snowball. Okay, so I just plugged in some values here so you can have something to look at, a visual reference. So for our example, we have 10 debts totaling $145,000 as a total balance. Then you have your minimum monthly payments for each here, and that totals $2,650. Okay, so here's the deal. If you were only able to pay the $2,650, that means you would have no snowball. So just paying your minimum balances. Down here is another table where it basically just rearranges the table from the top, and it puts it in the debt snowball format, where it's lowest balance to highest balance. Over here, it tells you how many years and months it's going to take you to pay off the debts. So if you see, based on no snowball at all, if all you pay was your minimum monthly payments, you can see right here, August of 2028 is how long it'll take you to get out of debt. August of 2028. Okay, now let me show you the power of the debt snowball and why this works so fast. Let's just say for fun, you were able to come up with an extra $100 per month to add to your debt snowball. Okay, so instead of paying the minimum $2,650, you were able to pay $2,750. So it gives you a snowball of $100. Now the way the debt snowball process works is you pay all your minimum balances on everything but your smallest debt. And then you take the snowball, add it to the minimum payment of the smallest debt, pay that debt off, then roll that payment over to the next debt and keep going until you pay them all off. So in this instance, in this scenario, card number 1 is our lowest debt with the $4,400 balance. And if we go up here, we can see card number 1 in the table has a $50 payment. So we would take the $50 payment, pay the minimum on everything else, take this $100 snowball, add it to the 50, and now we're paying $150 on card number 1 until we pay the balance off to zero. Once we pay the balance off to zero, we take that $150 that we were paying, go to the next one, department store, $5,000. So we go up here and find department store. That's a $150 payment. So we take that $150, add it to this $150. Now we're paying $300 on department store until we pay that balance off. And then we take that $300 and add it to auto loan number 2. And you keep going until all your debt is paid off. Okay. Now, look at what just happened by adding simply this $100 extra. The power of the debt snowball. It went from August 2028 to May 2028. So just by adding an extra $100 a month, we knocked off a couple of months already. If we let's say we added $200, so we say if we added $200, look what it does. February 28. So the more you add to your snowball, the more you're able to find to add to your snowball, the faster you can get out of debt. That's where the side hustle comes in, because we advocate using a side hustle, a side business, to add extra revenue that you can apply directly to your snowball to make it as big as possible so that you can get out of debt as quickly as possible. Okay, so let's look at this from a different format. All right, same information, different format. It's just laid out in row form, so it's easier to see, it's easier to track, when we make the payments. Okay, so again, you can see here, creditor one is card number 1, $4,400 going across, lowest to highest. Medical bill still here. All right, and it gives you all the same information, the interest rate, the monthly payment minimums here, and then the time it takes to pay off debt. And so as you can see here, February 28th, based on the $200 a month snowball. But what if, well, before I go there, let me show you this, what I was talking about earlier. You take the snowball amount, add it to the minimum monthly of the lowest payment, card number 1. So you have the 200 plus the 50, 250, and you pay 250 on this one only, and you pay the minimum on the rest until you get down here and you pay off your first one. And then you take that 250, add it to the 150, as you can see up here for the department store. So as you can see, your snowball is growing, and you keep adding it until all your debts are paid off. Now, in the process, you're going to have other debts drop off. What happens? You take that payment and add it to the snowball too. So you can see the snowball here just continues to grow. Okay, that's how it works. But now, if you were able to add some extra income from a side hustle, okay, let's say you add the extra $1,000 per month, and you did that every month. Every time we add additional, you notice these dates up here are going to change. So watch. Let's say we added an additional $1,000 a month. Let's pick a random period, okay? Until we got to August of 25. Watch what happens. Look at this. December 26th. We literally knocked off 2 years of being in debt by simply adding an extra $1,000 from a side hustle. If you keep going, you can just play with this calculator, and you can watch what you do and watch how it impacts your payoff date. So here we're back to August 26th by simply adding $1,000. Now, what if you were hustling on your side gig and you added 2,000, okay, instead of 1,000? You're adding 2,000 a month. And again, over here, every time we add to the additional income, this date right here of getting out of debt changes. Now we're down to October 25. You see how that works? That's the power of the debt snowball. The more you can add, the faster you can get out of debt. So if you had a side gig that brought you some extra income, you can throw it directly at the debt, and you can be done with the debt as soon as possible. The goal is to try to do it in 2023. Ambitious, yes, but hey, you got to have a goal, right? So debt free in 23 is the goal. Now, don't get caught up necessarily in the business. All right, whatever the side gig is really just a means to an end. There are many options out there for you in terms of adding a side gig, as long as they're legal. Got to be legal, right? As long as they're legal, you're good to go. Whatever works for you, whatever resonates with you, whatever works best. I have one of my own. The criteria I have when it comes to adding a side gig is simple. I want it to be low cost of entry with the potential for a high yield on the back end that pays quickly. So low cost of entry, high yield on the back end that pays quickly, because you want to get out of debt as quick as possible. So the faster you can get this money flowing in, the quicker you can pay down your debt. Here's what we're going to do. On Thursdays, we're going to have guests come in and talk about different business options. We want to give you plenty of options available to you to add to this process. Okay, so your side gig, whatever side gig you choose to add, we're going to give you plenty of options. There's plenty of things to choose from that are legal and can get you there. But again, you have to choose your own criteria. Like I said, my personal criteria is low cost of entry, high yield in the back end, potential, and potential to pay out quickly. Now, I have to say potential legally because I can't guarantee you any income from anything you do. I have no idea what your work ethic is. I have no idea what business you choose. I have no idea how it's going to work out for you, okay? So legally, I cannot guarantee you anything. But if you work hard, put in the effort, most businesses out there are legitimate and can help you get to where you want to go. And if you don't trust your own judgment, I'll give you what I'm using right now that I'm legitimately using to work this very process for myself. And I'm helping others do it, in my community. And that's what this whole Sigma business, ODS business is about, helping people in the community. Okay. So we're going to bring on guests. We'll do it on Thursday nights. We'll call it dFree Thursdays. We'll come on live Thursday nights about this same time, have someone come up and give you some ideas in terms of business, talk about their experiences, interviews, and all kinds of fun stuff. We got big plans for making this grow. All right. So share this with people, invite others to tune in and watch. I invite other BBB directors to take part, start your own programs like this to help people get out of debt using the dFree movement process. Actually, you know what? Not even just Phi Beta Sigma. Any of the D9 family, the Divine 9 family, if you have a business section, I invite you to come on board as well and help others. The goal is to help people in our community. It's part of our community outreach, our community service, to help people get out of debt as quickly as possible. Okay. So again, I'll post the links to the resources. If you have any questions, you can either comment below, message me. I'm on all the platforms. I'm a real person. I'll get back to you and I'll try to help you in any way I can. I'm here for you. I'm here to serve. That's what I do. And that's what this whole process is about. ODS business, to help serve the community, to help people get out of debt via adding side income, to help make their snowball go faster. All right. So with that, I'm going to punch out. You all have a blessed evening. And again, if you need me, I'm here. Reach out. Let's connect. Let's make it happen. Debt free in 23. Hashtag it debt free in 23. All right. I'm out. Peace. Have a good one now. Take care.